It's a fascinating thought experiment. What would the world look like if animals had jobs? Not as circus performers or laboratory subjects, but as real, respected workers in human society. Imagine walking into a cafe and seeing a raccoon behind the counter. Paws busy preparing your latte, or a dolphin teaching children how to swim at the community pool. It sounds whimsical, maybe even absurd, but if you think about it deeply, the idea reveals something profound about work, intelligence, and the natural skills of the animal kingdom. Let's take a walk through this imaginative world, a place where animals clock in, earn salaries, and contribute their natural talents to society. The Animal Workforce Revolution. It all began with the Universal Species Employment Act, a fictional law that recognized animal intelligence and gave them equal opportunity to work. The world changed overnight. Instead of humans doing everything, jobs were assigned based on instinct, ability, and ecological fit. In the skies, flocks of birds joined the aerial transport division. Trained pigeons became swift mail carriers again, but this time with micro-drones strapped to their backs for heavier packages. Owls took night shifts as surveillance officers, their keen eyes scanning city streets silently. Eagles patrolled borders, reporting intrusions through tiny cameras attached to their feathers. On land, elephants became the ultimate construction workers. With their immense strength and delicate trunks, they replaced heavy machinery in fragile environments where bulldozers would cause destruction. Rhinos worked in forestry, helping clear paths with natural precision, while beavers joined civil engineering teams, designing flood-resistant dams and waterways better than any human architect ever could. Cats and dogs in corporate life in homes and offices. Dogs became emotional support specialists and workplace morale officers. Their empathy and loyalty made them ideal for detecting stress and boosting productivity. Imagine a corporate meeting where a golden retriever gently nudges your hand before a presentation, a reminder that you not alone. Cats, on the other hand, found their niche in cybersecurity. Agile, observant, and suspicious by nature, they monitored virtual systems for intrusions, often catching subtle mice, tiny bugs in code that escaped human notice. They even developed a reputation for being excellent consultants, independent, quiet, and sometimes impossible to work with, but always brilliant when they delivered results. The ocean office underwater industries thrived as well. Dolphins, with their intelligence and communication skills, became ambassadors and translators between marine and human research teams. Their ability to echolocate made them perfect underwater surveyors. Whales contributed to ocean mapping projects, singing data through long-distance acoustic signals, while octopuses worked in deep-sea maintenance, manipulating tools with their flexible arms. Even sharks had their roles acting as natural regulators, keeping underwater ecosystems balanced, while also serving as models for autonomous underwater drones. The ocean became one vast living workplace where each creature had purpose and dignity. Farming, security, and healthcare. In agriculture, sheep and goats served as living lawnmowers, managing landscapes sustainably. Bees were promoted to the status of global pollination managers, wearing tiny tracking chips that collected data on plant health. Cows and pigs, often seen only as food sources, now worked in agricultural education, teaching humans through virtual AI-assisted translation about sustainable farming and animal welfare. In security, snakes and wolves formed elite tracking units with infrared-sensitive vision and keen senses. They assisted rescue missions in disaster zones. Bats became experts in drone navigation, helping design sonar systems for blind users and autonomous vehicles. And then came the healthcare revolution. Parrots and ravens, with their ability to mimic human speech, became therapy assistants for patients recovering from trauma or loneliness. Elephants, known for their empathy and long-term memory, worked in elderly care homes, comforting residents who suffered from dementia. Dogs, as always, led the medical detection field, now officially certified as early warning doctors for conditions like cancer and diabetes. Education and governance schools, too, changed dramatically. Wise old tortoises taught patience and reflection to restless students. Crows ran logic and problem-solving workshops, using puzzles and shiny objects to test creativity. Foxes taught strategic thinking, while dolphins led group collaboration sessions in seaside classrooms. Even politics evolved. Each region elected an animal representative. Council, a diverse body of creatures speaking through translation technology on behalf of their ecosystems. Policies were debated not only for human benefit but for the balance of the planet. The world, for once, listened to nature through the voices of its own children. The challenges of a multi-species workforce, of course. This utopian world wasn't without its struggles. The concept of fair pay became complicated after all. How do you compensate a bird for delivering mail or a bee for pollinating crops? Instead of money, animals received biological benefits, cleaner environments, protection, and enriched habitats. Communication also posed challenges. While translation devices improved rapidly, misunderstandings were common. A dolphin might interpret a training session as a playful game, while a cat could walk out of a cybersecurity meeting simply because it lost interest. Then came the ethical debates. Were humans truly treating animals as equals, or simply using them more efficiently? Some activists accused corporations of eco-exploitation, turning the beauty of nature into a workforce without freedom. Others argued it was the first real partnership between species, a collaboration that honored natural skills rather than destroying them. A new definition of work over time, society learned a profound lesson. Work wasn't just about money, power, or prestige. It was about contribution, about using one's natural gifts to make the world better. Humans began to envy the animals, whose work came from instinct and joy rather than obligation. Children grew up wanting to work like animals, not in exhaustion, but in harmony, to live purposefully, simply, and with balance. The line between civilization and wilderness began to blur. Cities grew greener, quieter, and more respectful. Factories adopted ecosystems where machinery and wildlife coexisted. Humanity finally understood that work could be both productive and sustainable, if guided by the wisdom of nature. The moral of the story: so, what if animals really had jobs? Maybe it's not just a fantasy. Maybe it's a mirror showing us that every creature, no matter how small or strange, has a role to play in the web of life. The question isn't whether animals could work. It's whether humans can learn to work with them, respecting their intelligence, their instincts, and their place in the world. Perhaps the day we stop seeing animals as tools or property and start seeing them as partners will be the day our planet truly becomes a shared home, one big, cooperative workplace under the same sun.